Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Here at Fields & Brown Barbershop, legacy means a lot. We're trying to fill big shoes left by my two uncles and my grandfather, where every haircut came with conversation and every customer left a little taller than when they walked in. The barbershop is about pride. It's about knowing your barber knows your name and your story. Come see us at Fields & Brown Barbershop, where tradition never goes out of style. 3 generations, 1 legacy, your barbershop.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning, offering a free initial consultation. Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence. A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Since opening our doors in 1904, Builtwell Bank has existed to be the local economic engine for the communities we serve. No matter if you're buying a car, saving for retirement, or finally buying that forever home, Builtwell Bank is here to help. From personal checking and savings accounts to a full suite of business and commercial banking with treasury management services, we'll make sure you'll have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and stands by you every step of the way. No matter where you are in Tennessee or Northwest Georgia, there's likely a Builtwell Bank location nearby. Come see us and let our dedicated financial team help you with all of your banking needs. Member FDIC.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome here to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Michael Marks and Taylor Plott. And guys, it's I almost said Tuesday. It's a Wednesday, but man, a lot of stuff going on. You can tell we're at the start of the baseball playoffs. We're right in the middle of college football and the NFL season, so news is breaking all around us. Let's get right into what happened yesterday in Major League Baseball. As of right now, it is a 1-1 tie between Detroit and Cleveland. They're in the top of the 5th right now. But Detroit yesterday, the team that was fishtailing down the worst out of everybody that's in the playoffs right now, was the team that came out. They sent their ace out there, Skubal. Skubal got it done. Offense did just enough. They picked up a 2-1 win, and they're sitting here tied right now 1-1. For some reason, decided they needed to pull their starter after 3+ innings because he walked a guy.
How dare you?
What is up with this trend? Like, nobody can let a starting pitcher get into a little bit of trouble and work himself out of it?
The playoff mentality has become a monster in itself.
Yes.
Heck, even just 5 years ago, if that was a situation, the guy's still in there. And now it just seems like, okay, it's like we have any chance that there could be danger looming. Not we'll pull you, we'll get some guy in the bullpen.
But they let Scooble. They trusted him yesterday, and that's what you need to do with your ace. He goes 7 2/3, 1 run off 3 hits, 14 strikeouts through 7 2/3, and he only threw 107 pitches in today. I mean, I would have been. I don't know where he was there in the 8th, but I would have been tempted to let him close that one out.
Yeah, he was just straight dominant yesterday. And I mean, look, he's one of the best pitchers in the American League. You threw him out there for a playoff game, and you knew that if he was only going to give up 1 run, that you had a really good shot to win that one. I mean, the Guardians' offense hasn't shown that they're going to be able to put up a whole lot of runs, really, at any point throughout the season. So I think it set Detroit up. Obviously you get the game 1 win. You're on the road, so it sets you up where you can drop this one today and still be alive.
Probably the most entertaining game was Boston and New York yesterday, and man, Mike, your heart was beating there big time in the ninth.
And speaking of a pitcher who went a lot of pitches,
Garrett Crochet was an absolute dog last night, and like I told you, I was
117 through 7 2.
I would say that's more like it. And pitch 117 was his fastest of the season. At 100.2 miles an hour, but I mean, it was really stressful. You start the 9th inning, you throw Aroldis Chapman out there with 1, 2, 3 in the Yankees order coming up. Goldschmidt single, Judge single, Bellinger single, nobody out.
Yeah,
and Bellinger's the winning run. You get Stanton to strike out, you get Chisholm to fly out, and then Trent Grisham to strike out, and you get it done, and you get a big win.
Sounds like Aroldis Chapman to me.
Yeah, it does.
Been through that with these guys before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, the Red Sox. I mean, you go into that 9th inning, and like you mentioned, it was just very quickly, no outs, bases loaded. And you're thinking, okay, well, the Yankees are at 1, at least going to tie it up, or could just go ahead and just take it. And the Red Sox closed the door on them. And that script flipped very quickly from the Yankees feel like, okay, there's a chance that they could get this game. And all of a sudden it felt like it was taken away from them, and now the Boston's in the driver's seat. I'm curious to see how the Yankees respond, because they're obviously a really good team, but I mean that felt like it was yanked away from you a bit.
Well, and you burnt a lot of your bullpen too. They used David Bednar, Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz, and Luke Weaver.
Well, the funny thing about that is they take out Fried after 6 1/3, 6 strikeouts, no runs. Yeah, he had 3 walks, but you bring in Weaver, who doesn't record an out.
Nope.
And he walks a guy. He gives up 2 runs off 2 hits. Both of them earned just through 15 pitches. Didn't record an out. And, I mean, people criticize Boone's decisions all year. You can't defend that.
No.
There's nothing but criticism.
The thing that I'm very curious about, because we're all in the world of analytics now, and I get that analytics is starting to become almost king, if you will, in the realm of baseball. There's just a different. There is people can be like, okay, well, baseball's baseball regardless of whether it's the regular season or the postseason. Football's football regardless of it's the regular season or postseason. There is a different animal regardless from a regular season and a postseason. And you've got to find a way to, if you want to use, I'm not saying that this is what he was doing, but I know that this is a lot to do with the manager's decisions. And if you want to become analytical with things, that's fine. But when it becomes playoff time, you got to learn that, you know what, maybe your gut is actually right as opposed to what the analytics are telling you. And I would have kept Fried in because he gave up no runs. Yeah, he walked a few guys, but he was being your dominant player that you needed. And then all of a sudden you took him out of the game.
And Weaver's a guy that, has been your middle relief kind of guy throughout the season, and he just didn't have it. And props to Boston there. I mean,
they only used 2 pitchers.
And New York used a lot.
You shut down that high-powered offense, which, you can criticize the Fried decision. You can criticize every pitcher after that. But you only gave up 3 runs in 9 innings against a pretty good lineup, too, Where's your offense?
Yeah.
Why do they always choke in these situations? I mean, and choke at home. That's the most confounding part.
Yeah, and it just goes back to it's just playoff time, and it's. I mean, I talked about the analytics stuff, but it even goes on the other side where it's just sometimes it's like a flip of a switch where you feel like you're having a good season, all of a sudden playoffs hit, and it's just you crap the bed, and you can't explain it. It's all mental. It's a lot of mental. Yes,
and that's why I feel really good about the Red Sox. Is sure, last season the team wasn't as great, but now you got Trevor Story where he's not having to be like the second or third best player on your team. You got Alex Bregman, you got a bunch of youngsters that have played good, but I mean this team's close. And when you got a guy that can go out there and give you 7 2/3 of one-run baseball, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. The other game, Cubs get a good win, 3-1 against the Padres. They kind of did yesterday. They pulled Boyd, only gave up 1 run off 4 hits, struck out 2. But their bullpen after that for the next 4 2/3 innings, no hits, no runs, and just 4 strikeouts.
Yeah,
and just shut down a really good Padres lineup. You get the key back-to-back home runs from Seiya Suzuki and Kelly, your boy Kelly, Mike, and man, hey, did I send you guys that Instagram video last night? It's crazy that this Cubs team, of all the teams left in the playoffs, have the best record in 1-run games, even though they won by 2 here, but they get that insurance run late. And it's funny, like everything I watched in that video proved itself here. Best starting pitching, or at least according to the numbers. You got multiple guys, 25-plus home runs, a really good base running team, of the best fielding team of all the teams in the playoffs, don't beat themselves. Get a little bit of power and some good pitching, especially out of the bullpen. You can win games like this in the postseason.
Yeah, and I think Palencia was huge when he came in there after
he
Boyd.
He had been their closer, and he had really struggled in that late. I love Keller because Keller's stuff is crazy nasty. So, I'm just not a fan of pulling a guy. I'm like 1 run on 4 hits, 1 walk, so he gave up 5 total base runners. And
I'd be happy to keep a San Diego offense that's got Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, guys like that all over this lineup, and you shut them up.
Yeah, 4 hits throughout the day. That's not bad. And then, I mean, Dodgers did what the Dodgers did. I think the moment Ohtani hit that ball, 117 exit velocity,
and they're off and running.
Yeah, it's just like the Reds just quit. You get ready for tomorrow. Throw those extra guys on the 40-man out there. Just don't kill yourself today. Well, some news here across a lot of front office changes. We'll start obviously with Atlanta. Brian Snitker out as their manager, will not return in 2026. Again, leader of their 2021 World Series championship. And you're the Braves fan. Taylor, will let you take the floor first on this one.
I would say I'm not shocked, but I really thought that I felt like obviously the season didn't go the way it intended. Yeah, you had a lot of injuries. You felt like you started gaining some momentum after you had that rough start, and then you get hit with injuries again, and it just kind of you're just fluctuating all throughout the remainder of the season. And I'm not saying that it was all Snitker's fault. I mean, there's, like I said, I felt like he was dealt a hand that was pretty tough. Even going into this year, you were starting to kind of wonder, right, when is he going to hang his hat up? And people think, well, he's only, 13 seasons or something like that? 10 seasons, and people forget that he was in the Braves organization for over 40 years. Now, he was with Bobby Cox, and he was with the Gwinnett, the AAA affiliate, for many, many years. So, he'd only been in the big leagues.
49 years as a minor league player, manager, and a major league coach. And, 49 years.
And for one organization. And so, obviously, he's getting up there in age. He's got grandchildren. He's a huge family man. And, he kind of got into this season thinking, okay, well, how much more is he going to give before he starts hanging it up? And I really was hoping that maybe he would make it into 2026 and just kind of be like, this is my last season. We're going to have like a last hurrah and everything, but he's done amazing work with this franchise, and he brought another World Series to Atlanta, 7 straight. I believe it was playoff appearances, 6 straight division titles. And, I mean, just I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, nothing but great things to say. So the question I have now, obviously he says he's going to be stepping back into – it wasn't like Atlanta and Alex Anthopoulos pushed him away.
Yeah.
It seems like
they're
this
giving
was,
them a new truck and sending them on vacation to Hawaii.
So this seems like it was like – yeah, really. This was something that seemed like they knew it was coming. It was just when.
Yeah.
And he's, I guess, decided that this was going to be the best time to do it. So stepping back into another role, I wonder what's going to happen coaching staff-wise.
Right.
Ron Washington got fired from the Angels. Obviously, he's been dealing with health issues. I'm not saying that he's going to be the manager, but I honestly, truly feel like the group of guys coaching-wise that the Braves have with Walt Weiss, you've got Eric Young, you've got some others, and I feel like that's a good group to have. Rick Cranitz, pitching coach. I really want Ron to get back into the coaching staff. But my question is, who would you want to be the manager?
And you got to think about it. Now you're fighting the Rangers. You're fighting the Giants because they fired Melvin and Bochy. Bochy won a World Series.
Yeah.
Melvin's a pretty good manager. He probably was not in a great situation there in San Francisco.
Well, and Melvin has a history with Matt Olson and Sean Murphy. There's a couple of those guys on the Braves roster that spent some time in Oakland with Bob Melvin.
I think you need a guy. And Snicker was like that in the early days. I think he kind of got away from it because he was around these guys so much.
Yeah.
I hate that he's gone because I'm with you. The injuries are not his problem.
Yeah.
Your star player who's not only constantly injured, but his organization allows him to do all of his rehab away from the team. And then he comes in and acts the way that he does. He's supposed to be your leader, but he's not around the team during the course of the season. That's not a Snicker problem. That's an organization problem because I'm looking at Albies, Strider, Jimenez, Lopez, Riley, Harris, and Baldwin all showed up to this press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you what they thought of Snicker.
Yeah.
There's a couple names here, there could be reasons why they're not there, but, the fact that a lot of these guys were there in support tells you everything you need to know.
Yep.
I think you need a guy that comes in there and is a bit of a boss.
Yeah.
You're not saying Snicker wasn't that guy, but you need a change and you need more of a stern voice that will wrangle some of the shenanigans that are going on in that organization.
And you look, I can get on board with that. If you look at the really good teams, obviously the run that the Braves had in the 90s and early 2000s, and Bobby Cox and Snicker are kind of hand in hand in how they handle management styles.
Yeah.
I felt like Snicker was a lot more not, when I say not relaxed, he was still relaxed, but Bobby Cox, especially with the playoffs, it seemed like he started kind of getting a little more tense, I guess, if you will.
Right.
And with him, it seemed like he kind of was still relaxed to an extent that was able to let the players still breathe and be able to do what they need to do. But during all those teams, you had a player or players that were the clubhouse so-called managers. They were the team leaders.
Yeah.
And they would deal with any issues that would go on in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It just felt like with this team, I think when we lost Swanson, and I really think when we lost Ron Washington, and you lost a couple of other guys, I felt like you had those glue guys that weren't necessarily there. Freeman, for instance, was definitely one of them. And I feel like Matt Olson can be one of those guys, but I don't know. It just seemed like there was a lot of stuff that happened where you might have needed a manager that was a little more strict, or if you
in
will,
your face.
And not saying that would have completely fixed problems. I'm not sure, but I can kind of get behind you where it seems like if you go back and look at Bobby Cox and Snicker and the good teams that they had, you had those guys already where they didn't have to really do much of that.
Right.
And then you got a team that you might have needed to have a little more of that, but that's not really your style.
Right.
Yeah, I would say I think you're right. Obviously, I'm not a big Braves guy, but they're a local team, so I've kind of kept an eye on them. And like you said, Snicker's been the guy since I've been watching the Braves, and I really kind of fell in love with him around 2018, 2019 when I really started getting into baseball heavy. And I mean, it just felt like those teams just kind of. I get the entire Southeast has kind of got a connection to the Braves, but I mean, it really felt like that whole region, especially when they won the World Series in 2021, just really brought them together. But just after that, it's just, the record got a little better for a while, but it just felt like there was kind of a steady decline coming. And I think, losing Freddie Freeman was a big part of that, because you bring in a guy like Matt Olson, who is an awesome player, but is he a leader? Yeah. Because you look at this team and that's exactly what they're missing. Because, I'm not saying Michael Harris or Ronald Acuna or Ozzie Albies isn't a leader, but they're not that clubhouse personality that is the guy. Yeah. And I think that's what they were missing, and I feel like Snicker kind of got the short end of the stick on that one.
Yeah, I can kind of get behind that.
What's the better job outside of the Braves? Angels, Giants, or Rangers?
Texas still has a really, really good lineup, and I feel like if you give them a manager who can get that team together, they could be really, really dangerous.
I could go behind the Rangers. I think in my mind, I'm saying it's a tie between Texas and San Francisco, because I feel like San Francisco, you've got a good roster, but San Francisco it just feels like it's one of those organizations, one of those teams where you expect to win. You have a really good fan base around you. Texas does too. I'm going to go with Texas because I'm with you. I feel like that their lineup and everything's kind of like
ballpark's great.
Ballpark's great.
They're willing to spend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They spent like $500 million on their infield, their middle infield. So
they're willing to spend to get you what you want.
Yeah.
I think it's a good situation. Well, coming up next, guys, we're going to go to some college and pro football. We're going to play some Keep 'em or Dump 'em. When we return here on Exports Today.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you, because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen, because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
All right, guys, welcome back here to X Sports. Today we're time to play some Keep 'em or Dump 'em here in the world of college football and in pro football. Let's start off with the SEC.
Let's do it.
Is Arkansas the hardest place in the SEC, A, to find a good coach, and B, to win?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say probably Kentucky would be because, on Mark My Words earlier today, I was looking at the time that Bobby Petrino spent at Arkansas. And that last year there in 2011, they had a game the last week of the season. It was number 1 LSU at number 3 Arkansas. They can win there. But, I mean, the SEC is a hard place to win. I think you can win there, but it will take a good coach.
Yeah.
I agree. You can win there for sure. There's obviously you mentioned Bobby Petrino. He had really, really good teams, and yes, I do remember that last regular season game, top 3 matchup, and it can be done. It's proven. The question that I have is, we're now in an NIL era. How much is Arkansas? How much can they actually make to help with the recruiting aspect? I think at the end of the day, they just need a coach first. And who knows? It might be Bobby Petrino. You don't know if they're like, you know what? Because the thing that stood out to me, we talked about it the other day, I didn't even see this until Michael mentioned it to me. He started cleaning house.
Yeah, I was literally getting ready to mention that. He fires his defensive assistants, 3 of them, after being named the interim head coach. So he, he's dismissed his defensive coordinator, defensive line coach, and another one. And it's almost like he knows he's going to get this job.
That's what I was about to say.
That's the way this feels. Like he already knows he has this job.
Already knows he has this job, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be pulling those moves.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Bobby Petrino is Arkansas's head coach until they say otherwise.
Right.
And is that going to mean he's going to be there for 5, 6, 7 years? I don't know. But if honestly everybody goes back to the whole injury, the motorcycle accident, all that stuff that happened, everybody's going to go back to that. But I will say this: if I'm Arkansas right now, yes, Sam Pittman didn't really work out. Okay. But guess who you have that you just made interim head coach? Bobby Petrino, who has proven that he can win at Arkansas. Right. And honestly, when you go back and look, he was probably the last good coach that you had.
Yeah.
I'm picking him. I mean, from everybody else, everything else going on, you have him right there. If you feel like he's a good fit now, I'm taking him. And it seems like that's what he's going to do, because like I mentioned, like you said, he wouldn't be cleaning house if he felt like that wasn't his job.
Right.
So, yes, I agree. Arkansas, you can win the SEC in Arkansas. You can recruit at Arkansas. The question is just, what about the NIL stuff? Because that's become a big thing now, obviously.
Yeah.
I think there's one other name, though, that needs to be considered. That's former Arkansas quarterback and current SMU head coach, Rhett Lashley.
Yeah.
That dude would take that job in a heartbeat. Obviously, things haven't gone well, as well in Dallas this year with SMU, and I think this is maybe short term. You get Petrino the job and let him run it for a year or two, and wait to see if Lashley's the guy. Because I think if you want a young head coach that can set you up for the future, I think Rhett Lashley is your man.
Is Bobby Petrino the most scandal-ridden head coach in the history of college football?
That's still around. Yes, there are some Les Miles
in recent memory.
Yeah, I would say in recent memory.
Yeah. And he keeps finding jobs.
He keeps finding jobs.
It's crazy. Lane Kiffin says because of adding Texas and Oklahoma and adding 9 games to the SEC, that SEC dynasties are now over. Keep it or dump it.
Yeah, I'm all with that. And it's not even adding Oklahoma and Texas that have done it. I think it's the transfer portal and NIL have completely changed that, because you can't build a dynasty. You can't sit here and stack top 5 classes and expect to retain all those players, because look at Georgia, look at Alabama. Yeah. You know, those are obviously the two that get picked on the most, but you see guys every once in a while, a guy that you've never heard of making a play for Kansas, and it's like, oh, the transfer from Alabama.
Yep.
You know, these guys are wanting to go somewhere else and get an opportunity to play, so it's, you know, kind of killed longevity of programs, and it was something that we talked about earlier this week. It's hard to retain that much talent for that long of a time.
I agree, and going back to the comment I made earlier this week, we're going to have to redefine the term dynasty,
right?
Because as far as I'm aware, I don't know if there's actually a so-called year requirement, like you have to be doing X amount for X amount of years. But I feel like everybody kind of feels like, okay, a so-called dynasty is you've been dominant, you've been winning championships, making deep runs in the playoff for like 5 years in a row. And I don't know if you can do that anymore. If you're going to have to make a so-called like year limit on it, I mean, 2 to 3. I mean, the dynasty is going to have to be renamed or redefined. So, yeah, on that sense, I think Lane Kiffin is right. I think the dynasty era is dead, but that doesn't mean you won't have really, really good teams for a short period that could make, you know, maybe 1 or 2 national championship runs.
Yeah, I think dynasty is going to go from like what Nick Saban did and say win 3 national championships or you know, win 6 national championships in 15 years to win 2 in 5 years. That's a dynasty.
That's a dynasty now. Yeah.
Nico Ilimaliava and UCLA have not won a game. Are they going to win a game in 2025?
They had 3 opportunities against subpar competition to get it done this year, and some of those weren't even close. I will be shocked if they get a win, which probably means they're going to beat Penn State this weekend or something stupid. But no, I'm going to say no. Their best chance is October 18th when Maryland has to fly out west, and that's just because of how long of a trip that is. That will probably be their best shot.
I'm going to give you 2 I'm going to give you 2 answers on this.
Okay.
My first answer is no. My second answer is no, because I want to see him suffer for the stupid move that he did.
You know, it's funny,
which obviously helped Tennessee, so that's actually good. But still, it's like, how about you just get punished for a little bit?
I was about to say, it's funny you bring that up, because, you know, back in April, there was all the speculations. Oh, he wants more money. He wants better talent around him, and he leaves UCLA because, quote, the offense out there is a better fit for him.
Yeah. Yes.
They're 0-4 and are scoring 14.25 points per game. Tennessee's 4-1 and is scoring 51 points per game. So you tell me who has the better offense for him. And I mean, honestly, maybe that offense was better for him, because he's just not that good. It seems that it really does seem that way. He's just not that good.
Is Memphis the best Group of 5 team? Okay, well, you look.
I'm going to say no.
In their own conference alone, Navy's 4-0, North Texas is 5-0. When you look at the other Group of 5 conferences, everyone in Conference USA has at least 1 loss. Everyone in the MAC at least has 2 losses. That's crazy. The Mountain West, Boise and Fresno each have a loss. Boise can pick up a big win at Notre Dame this week. And outside of that, I mean, there's no undefeateds in the Sun Belt. I mean, clearly it's coming out of the American, but is Memphis the best team in the Group of 5?
I'm going to say yes. And here's my reasoning behind it. I feel like out of all the Group of 5 teams that you would feel like you would have a shot, I feel like Memphis is the most well-rounded. And I really, people can say, okay, well, it's Arkansas. Arkansas sucks this year. It's still an SEC team that, yes, you played at home, but you beat Arkansas. And you proved that you could go down the field against an SEC opponent. You can hold an SEC opponent when you needed to. You can stiffen up on defense, and you can get the job done. The only other team that I felt like might have an outside chance is maybe North Texas.
Yeah.
And I watched some of that North Texas-South Alabama game.
They put up a lot of points.
Those dudes are good.
But they let South Alabama hang around. South Alabama is not. They're not a bad team. I feel like that they just shoot themselves in the foot a little too.
They get off the bad starts.
Yeah, they get off of bad starts. They shoot themselves in the foot. They have a okay team, but you feel like North Texas should have just completely handled South Alabama.
Right.
And yeah, they obviously won the game, but you felt like South Alabama was still there.
Yeah.
So I would lean towards Memphis right now because I do feel like they're the most well-rounded out of all the teams.
And see, I'm going to take the North Texas approach. I mean, they got a team, and they got some dudes. Drew Mestamaker, their quarterback, almost 1,300 yards already through 5 games, 11 touchdowns in the big one, 0 interceptions.
Yep.
And they have 7 receivers now, 7 that have over 100 receiving yards. They're spreading the ball around, and their leading receiver only has 219 yards. So there's not like one guy you can take away that really opens them up. And I feel like that's something, and not picking on Memphis or anything in particular, but some of these Group of 5 teams, they have one good receiver.
Yeah.
And once you take him out, I mean, that opens up the entire other side of the field, and they can't get anything done.
Right.
I feel like North Texas has enough depth to do that.
Yeah.
All right, out of the ACC, say we just assume that Miami is going to be their representative.
Okay.
Okay, just assuming there. And maybe Florida State, depends on what happens throughout the rest of the year. I think they got exposed a bit. Out of this group of 3, Louisville, Virginia, or Georgia Tech, who has the best chance to make the playoff?
Initially, just looking at their schedule, it's got to be Georgia Tech. I mean, their last 6 games, their last 7 games, they don't play Miami, they don't play Florida State, they don't play Louisville. I mean, they got Virginia.
They could go undefeated.
Yeah, they very well could go 11-0 heading into that Georgia game.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're one of those teams that it's going to be like Indiana last year.
Every game is down to the wire, especially against Power 5 conference. Because they even went down the wire with Colorado.
Yeah, I heard.
It was at Colorado, but it went down.
I heard an assumption of Georgia Tech that called them the worst best football team in the country.
Yeah,
because they're good. They've won games, but if they go to the playoff, they'll get smoked. I really do feel like that.
I'm in agreement. I feel like Georgia Tech's probably the best one out of that group to make a run for a playoff appearance. I don't know if it's going to end up being you win the ACC, but you would get a at-large bid. I am with you on. It seems like Georgia Tech. Let me put it this way, because I agree with what you said, where it was people saying they're the worst best, or was it the worst best team?
Yes.
And I feel like they have a really, really good football team, and they should be playing up here. But for some reason, they're playing down here.
Right.
And that's what's keeping them in these close games where Wake Forest should have beat them.
Yes.
And lo and behold, they have what's his name at quarterback?
Haynes
Wake
King.
Forest.
Ashford.
Robbie Ashford.
So we all know that he's going to probably screw something up at some point.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
So you got that working for you.
Yeah.
But
But maybe these close games is what they need to be like. Hey, we will stick around.
We will stick around, and they have. At the end of the day, they have won these games, so they are winning these games. But I do feel like that they should be playing up here, and right now they're kind of playing down here for some reason.
The Big 12 right now, guys, has 10 teams that are 3-1 or better. When we go to the end of the year, how many playoff teams are we looking at? If because it's proven that the Big 12, it's way better than a lot of people expected. We do know they're going to start beating each other. And that's just kind of natural, same in the SEC. If some of these teams start to rise to the top, because you got 4 teams in the top 25 right now, Texas Tech is your best, 4-0, ranked 11th. If the cream rises to the top, in the words of the Macho Man, how many teams do they get in the playoff? 2?
Yep, and they're 2 teams that don't have to play each other this year, and funny enough, it's 2 highest ranked in the polls right now.
Yeah.
Texas Tech looks awesome. They have 2 really good quarterbacks, and then Iowa State's just playing good football. I mean, they're not doing anything exceptionally sexy or anything, but they just put up more points than their opponent, and they've won all 5 games they've played so far. So I'm all in on the Cyclones.
For some reason, I'm wanting to say 3, but I really, really want to lean with 2.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're obviously going to get one auto bid, and I feel like you're just going to get one other team because it's people. Because the Big 12, because you made a good point, it's like they're going to start beating each other up.
Yeah.
that's a different type of beating up than what an SEC beat up would be.
Right.
Because SEC beat up, your strength of schedule is still pretty high. A Big 12 beat up, your strength of schedule is not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's in like the 40s or 50s and not the teens and 20s.
Not the teens and 20s. So you're going to have that aspect going for you. I feel like, though, there's a decent chance that there could be a third team that they get. It just all depends.
It depends on how it all shapes out.
Exactly.
If you got 3 10-2 teams, I mean, you can make a pretty good chance just based off the strength and how they've done in non-conference games. You can make a pretty good argument that this, I mean, it's better than the ACC. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Their only chance at 3 is Arizona State beating both Texas Tech and Iowa State, and both those games are on the road, so that's going to be tough. But if that is those other teams 1 losses, and Arizona State has a bunch of big wins like that, they could get 3. But they'll need some help from the ACC or the Big Ten to knock a couple teams out.
And I'm like you. I think if it's Iowa State and Arizona State, those are 2 teams you probably don't want to see.
Right. Oh yeah,
it's definitely, especially if you got to go there.
Out there,
But we'll see what happens. Lot to play. Outside of Ohio State, is Indiana the second best team in the Big Ten?
Ooh.
I'm bringing the.
We'll find out in 2 weeks on the field, but as of right now, I can't overshadow how big I think that Oregon win was on the road and that wideout, because you got to realize that was Dante Moore's first true road start at Oregon. And to go in there and, I saw a Dan Lanning video this morning, and, I mean, that dude has me ready to run through a brick wall now. He, 110,000 people. 110,000 people that won't make a tackle, that won't make a play, won't do crap. He didn't say crap, but and his dudes go out there and do it for him. I am all in on those guys.
God, that's a good question, because I feel like Indiana has a really good team, and I'm hesitant, but I feel like I could put them in I think they're slightly better than they were last year.
Yeah.
That Illinois game, I think, proved it.
Yeah, because how many times are we're going to see a top 10 team get beat by 53 points?
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing about it. Okay, Illinois is ranked 9th right now, and you beat them by 53 points. You're ranked 8th. Their 2 toughest games from here on out, at Penn State, at Oregon. Maryland could be tough. You got to go to Maryland and Penn State in back-to-back weeks. But you win 2 of those 3,
you're in.
You're sitting pretty.
You know, I would argue to say if you win 1 of the 3, but that one is, say, at Oregon or at Penn State, I think you're in.
Yeah,
I think you're in, but
I think they're gonna need Illinois to give them some help if that's the case. Because say Illinois keeps on winning and they go 9-3, then you have a 53-point win against the 9-win team. That looks really good. But say Illinois falls off a cliff and goes 7-5, that win doesn't look anywhere near as good.
If I had to make a choice right now, I would still lean Oregon. Indiana, I still feel like Indiana, I would want to put them in a category of, okay, I acknowledge you're really good.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say anything negative about them. Y'all are doing very good. I get that. But you are in a category where you have to keep proving it to me, because at the end of the day, I'm going to lean over here towards Oregon, because I know Oregon has proved themselves. They have Dan Lanning as their head coach. They went into Penn State and Happy Valley and got a win. The Indiana last year, Ohio State came to town, and Ohio State thumped them. So until they can prove to me otherwise, I really think it's Ohio State and Oregon.
All right, guys, Vanderbilt, they're sitting at 5-0 right now, 1-0 in the SEC. If they go 4-3 in the SEC, when you look at, they've got 5 ranked teams in the final 7. If they go 4-3 during that time, can you make an argument that they should be in the playoff? Because 5 of the 7, which means you're going to beat at least 2 ranked opponents during that time. Or at least 1, I should say, thinking about it. You go 4-3. Can you make an argument, because one of those wins is against 11th ranked South Carolina, can you make an argument that a 9-3 Vandy should be in the playoff?
Yes and no. The yes aspect would be it's the SEC, so we obviously know everything's weighted differently in the playoff committee's eyes. I will say this. To go into the yes category, having the statement I just made, if Vandy loses those games that they lose, and it is within like a touchdown or a field goal, very, very close,
one possession
games, I feel like you could hold that argument there. And I really do think that it depends on who they win down the stretch.
Right.
If they win those 4 games down the stretch, I highly depend. If they go in and beat Alabama in Bryant-Denny Stadium, that's a huge win on that in that category.
They still got LSU. They still got Texas.
And
they
if
still
you
got
get
Tennessee.
if you get Texas, if you get LSU, if they go through that stretch and the games that they do win are very, very high quality games, and then you look at the games that they end up losing against high quality opponents, but it is like one possession, I think you can make a very valid case for Vandy to make the playoff.
I mean, 9-3 team, but if you looked at the quality competition that they played. You can make a and that would be an argument, say maybe against a 10-2 Big 12 team or a 9-3, 10-2 ACC team.
And then the no aspect I'll have just real quick would be you would be going against teams like that.
Right.
Everybody's going to be focusing in on, oh, well, you had that one more loss, so why do you deserve to be over a 10-2 team? Right. So, but I'm kind of split down the middle.
I think they win 10 games this year. I really do. I mean, they're. Barstool Vanderbilt has posted this thing every week, and it's called Their Road to the Playoffs, and it has 3 sections: a must-win section, a should-win section, and a can-win section. If you win, that must-win against Kentucky, you win 2 of 3 against Missouri and Auburn, and beat Alabama, Texas, or Tennessee. That 9 wins might get you in the playoff if you keep all 3 of those, the can wins, the Alabama, the Texas, the Tennessee, because all 3 of those are on the road this year. If you can keep those close, I think you. I really do think that this could be a 9-win team that makes the playoff.
Go back to that real quick. So the thing that if they do that, all right, they beat Kentucky. That's a must-win. They got it done. I would say if they beat Bama, Texas, and Tennessee, and then they end up losing to say
LSU and Missouri.
LSU, Missouri. I mean, heck, at that point, even if they lose to Auburn for some reason, I think that they're a lock in the playoffs at that point.
And see, that's what I was thinking of. Is it worth losing those should wins to win all 3 of the can wins? I'm trying to determine what we would value more: a close loss against a good team, or big wins against good teams.
I think looking at that and saying if they went 10-2, and with whoever they win in that group of teams they showed, I think they're a lock. Then the question becomes if they lose that third one. Because
the way it goes, it may be set up that Vanderbilt's 9-2 and set up going to Neyland their last game of the year for a chance at the playoff, which
it could be.
I am terrified to see.
It could be.
Sorry, I'm watching this. I'm mad at your boy. He should have threw out Tatis at third, then he gives up a sac fly. But the first 2 guys are each. You give up 1 run.
I think you can handle that.
We're starting a guy out of the bullpen. It's still 1-1 Cleveland and Detroit. So, crooked number innings scare me. So, get out of that. Let's go to the pros, guys. I mean, it's not really a keep it or a dump it. What in the world's wrong with the Baltimore Ravens?
I don't know.
They forgot to sign the defense. They didn't pay their defense coordinator. I don't know what happened. But, I mean, I think we talked about it Monday when we were going over this game, AJ. They did not look competitive whatsoever. No. I mean, there was one moment I was, building Legos Sunday afternoon. I take a peek at the score, and it's 37-13. You're like, what?
Yeah.
The Chiefs that have a hard time scoring more than 1 touchdown in a game are scoring 40 on you?
Yeah.
It's bad.
I honestly don't know. I mean, if you go back and look at the Ravens-Bills game, I mean, they had the Bills beat. That defense was stopping Josh Allen and that offense. And then all of a sudden, the lights got turned on the Buffalo side, and they come back and win it. But you still felt like, okay, well, that's still Baltimore's got a decent defense.
Yeah.
And then you just keep watching them, and it's like, where is the defense? I honestly don't know, because I know it's there. They kind of proved it earlier in the season that they have a decent defense, but now it's almost like non-existent.
But I do think we need to pump the brakes. If you look at the 4 teams they've played this year so far, the Bills are really good.
Yep.
The Lions are really good. The Chiefs are, teetering, and that was their worst loss. But the other team they played, the Browns, they won that game.
Yeah.
They have had 3 of the better teams in the NFL on the front half of the schedule. It gets a little easier down the middle of the schedule. You got the Texans, the Bears, the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns. Those are all the Jets. I mean, these are all very winnable games. Yeah. But they're going to have to start actually winning some of them.
Yeah, but even the only counter I would have to that is, you expect this Baltimore defense to compete against the Buffalo, to compete against the Lions, to compete against the Chiefs and everything like that. And it just seems like it's been struggling lately where you would expect them to be in that position.
Yeah. Flacco out as starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel in for Cleveland. Good move, bad move?
I think it was probably their best shot. I mean, there's not much good going on in Cleveland. I know Shadur's not happy about still being QB3, but
you see he's pantomiming his
is he?
answers when asked about it.
When we need I'm about to say, where's John Boy when we need a lip reading right there, because that could be a.
Well, you could sort of read.
Yeah.
He's kind of saying I can't say anything, but he's doing like, what a joke! Like you just continue to prove to everybody why no one takes you serious.
Yeah. Exactly. But like you say, I think Gabriel's probably their best option, because if the choice is Gabriel and Sanders, he is the better quarterback. But the one thing that was the concern with Dylan Gabriel was his size, because he's 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" quarterback. Those are big offensive linemen you got to throw over, big defensive linemen you got to throw over. So I think the Vikings is a good test for him, to have his first game in London of all places. Yeah.
Was the Chargers' loss at the 0-3 Giants without their best wide receiver the most baffling loss of the season so far?
It's a toss-up between that and the Browns beating the Packers, because I still don't know how that happened. And you could even go back last week and I get the Titans aren't great, but how do you lose 26-0 to a team that also hasn't won a game all year? Yeah. But, I mean, those are 3 really close ties. I'd almost go – I would almost say that the Browns over the Packers is a little more shocking, just because usually when a team switches up their quarterback, they either get blown out or win the game. Yeah. So I think this was – even though he didn't play great, I think this one wasn't as shocking as it seems.
I'm in line with that. I felt like the Browns and the Packers, that was a little interesting. But, I mean, this one's right up there, too. I mean, heck, Malik Neighbors went down was it the first, second quarter or something? Yeah. And they ended up getting it done. I mean, if it's not one, it's definitely a very close second.
Yeah. Jacksonville, are they for real now? So, I mean, I knew the South was up for grabs at the start of the year, but they're starting to string together some pretty impressive wins here.
Yeah. Did you know that the Jaguars are 3-1?
No,
but I feel like it's not getting talked about at all, because everybody had already completely written off Trevor Lawrence, written off Travis Etienne Jr. They still got some dudes, man, and they're young. And hey, Liam Cohen's got Duval going, man. I'll tell you, I like the Jaguars. They have just enough to get it done in some of these games, and I would say they're probably the biggest shock, and I think they're about to go on a big run. Yeah.
I feel like Jacksonville's always one of those teams where you hope that they're a little feisty.
Yeah,
and it's like you don't
when you get a scrappy Jacksonville team, I don't know what it is. They're fun to watch.
They are fun to watch, but it's one of those where you feel like, okay, they're feisty, but they're not really going to make it to the playoffs. Right. This one, they're feisty and they have a really good chance, I think, at making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some early season struggles, obviously, and there was all the talk about Brian Thomas missing passes and stuff like that.
Travis Hunter has not been a factor on this team at all.
Yeah, I bet say he was I think he only got like 10 snaps on offense and maybe like 10 or 15 on defense last week, so he's not been the tool guy that they need. But listen, you start winning games, guys get happy, guys start playing better.
Yep.
That's something you can string together, and what a better opportunity than next Monday at home against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who's also coming off a big win. I mean, this is the first time in a while that I might be excited to watch a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah. All right, guys, our favorite question. All right, I'm going to go through the schedule. Niners at Rams, Minnesota at Cleveland, Vegas at Indianapolis, Giants at the Saints, Dallas at New York, Denver at Philly, Miami at Carolina, Houston at Baltimore, Tennessee at Arizona, Tampa at Seattle, Detroit at Cincinnati, Washington at the Chargers, New England at Buffalo, Kansas City at Jacksonville. What is the cheapest game to get into this week? And we've got actually a lot of competition.
I know. There's a lot of crappy teams hosting.
Is it the Saints?
Believe it or not, it's $25 to get in, and that is not the cheapest game to get into this week.
Is it Dolphins Panthers?
No, that's actually $56 to get into this week.
I guess
Miami's a 1.5 favorite in that game.
Yeah.
East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast.
West Coast.
No way it's the Niners and the Rams.
No.
Okay.
It's 141.
Okay, I was about to say.
Was it the Vegas one?
No, it is. That is $70.
Okay.
Oh, it's Commanders at Chargers, isn't it?
33, but it's not the cheapest to get into.
Really? What was the other West Coast ones?
Is it Bucks Seahawks?
No, that's 137.
I'd say that should have been pretty high up.
Oh, the 49ers. It's not 49ers Rams.
No. That's 141.
Yeah. I got no clue.
Or is it Indy, Arizona?
Tennessee, Arizona.
Tennessee, Arizona.
$23 to get into.
Wow.
For some reason, I feel like they had a game that it was like really expensive to get into, and I just mentally put that no matter how bad they were, or the team they were playing were, that would be a cheap one to get in.
Yeah, and it is. Well, guys, coming up next, we didn't have a show yesterday, so it's time to get into Trivia Tuesday. That will be when we return here on X Sports Today.
For the best meal from south of the border, head to Cocina Real in Puente Grande for lunch and dinner. With a wide array of mouth-watering entrees, there's something for everyone on the menu. And you can't forget the cheese dip. They'll treat you like family, and you'll never leave hungry. Make Cocina Real Mexican Restaurant and Puente Grande Mexican Restaurant your choice for authentic cuisine, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretta, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service.
Comprehensive care with a compassionate touch. That will always be the guarantee at Encompass Healthcare in Etheridge, Tennessee. Whether you're looking for primary or urgent care, x-ray services, or weight loss treatments, the team at Encompass is equipped to serve your needs today. The doors are open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5 and from 8 to noon on Fridays. Make an appointment with providers Kendra Brown, Tori Cox, or Ellie Brown today. That's Encompass Healthcare, located on Highway 43 North in Etheridge, next door to Chapman Tire.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good here with Michael Marks and Taylor Plott. Guys, it's time for trivia. We're talking the World Series, okay?
So the answer's probably the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yes.
What team, number one, can you guess the worst record in the history of Major League Baseball where a team won the World Series?
the worst record they had?
Yeah, worst record of a team in the regular season that won a World Series.
So this would be the record going into the playoffs.
Correct.
And this is going to be a more recent thing because obviously to make the playoffs back in the day, you had to win like 95 games.
In the top 10, so we have, there's a couple from the 80s, one from the 70s, and one from the one from the 90s, and the rest are 2000 and beyond.
I'm going to say on the wins 79.
No team with a losing record has ever won a World Series.
85 wins.
That is actually the second worst record. The 87 Twins won with an 85 and 77 record.
Wow.
Kirby Puckett. Oh man, yeah.
So like the other one's going to be just slightly lower than that, right?
So who won 84 games?
It's actually lower than
that. 83?
83.
Okay.
Can you guess who went 83 and 78 and eventually won the World Series?
What year?
2006.
Oh, was that did the Phillies win it that year?
No. Cardinals?
Was the Cardinals. Good call. And for some, why didn't they start Schroeder? We started a guy out of the bullpen. Now, what are you doing?
Gotta love Cubs baseball.
You gotta love Craig Counsell. And Schroeder's like mowing down this order. He's not even in the double-digit pitches and has 2 outs. Anyways, back to it. The 2021 Braves are 5th on this list, 88 and 73.
Yeah, because they had to travel for that first playoff series that year.
The 2000 Yankees were 87 and 74. The 2014 Giants were 88 and 74.
I was close to saying them.
The 74 A's win 90 and 72. That ties with the 2011 Cardinals and the 2023 Rangers. So 18 games over 500.
Yeah.
And that's
I was going to see if the Rangers, because they were like a 4 seed, I think, that year when they made it.
90 and 71 were the 90 Reds, 03 Marlins, 85 Royals, and the 80 Phillies.
Are the 97 Marlins in there as well?
They are not. I don't see them on this list.
Because it was funny, the Marlins have made the postseason like 4 times, and they won it all 3 times, I think, or it may have just been 2, but.
No, it was every single time until I think because they made the playoffs
in 2020.
They
made it the COVID year.
Yeah, but it was like every time they made the playoffs, they won the World Series.
Yeah. And that 03 team, Josh Beckett, I mean that was a really good team.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to go the opposite, but some of these articles are just ridiculous. Like, why can't you? Okay. Here we go.
The most wins are we going with?
Best record of a team to win a World Series.
2018 Red Sox.
I mean, look at the date. No, this is 2023. They are not the best team with the best record to win the World Series.
They won like 109 games that year.
Was it the Dodgers when they won it last year?
No.
Because didn't they have like 110 wins or something?
Oh, did the Cubs win it in 1906?
Well,
because they won.
This article is very confusing. This was not freaking Sports Illustrated, of course. My goodness, why in the world can you not just?
Because it was the 1906 Cubs that won like 117 games or whatever, and that was before it was a 162 game season. So they have the single season highest winning percentage.
That's right. 8 and 4. No.
And that's their World Series record.
Yeah. What the.
I'll quiz you guys on it, see if I can find it.
Yeah. This is so freaking frustrating. Like, overall record, like, the worst record.
Okay, I got the top 4 out here.
Okay.
Do y'all want to guess on them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I got the top 4.
Was it the 2018 Red Sox?
They were second with 108 wins.
The Cubs won 103 in 2016.
That's third.
That's third?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Cubs team that you mentioned on there?
Mm-mm. Both of these they're the same team, and it's happened since you both have been alive. And so, they're both Yankees. The Yankees are the other 2.
Was it 90? Was it 96?
98.
Or was it 98?
98.
Okay.
They went 114 and 48.
Okay.
And the other one was the last Yankees team to win the World Series.
When was that?
2009.
2009.
They went
yeah.
109 and 50, 103 and 59.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I'm surprised. You know, usually the team with the best record does not win the World Series. It doesn't happen a whole lot. I'm surprised that this was a list that was this hard to find. Usually, I feel like there would be all kinds of.
I'm running. Well, do you know who's the best record of a team, the most wins of a team that did not win the World Series?
Oh, it's the Mariners.
01 Mariners.
Mm-hmm. They won 117 games.
16.
16.
And a plus 300 run differential.
And they lost in the divisional series
did
too.
To the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers in 2022, 111 wins plus 334 run differential.
And that year they lost in the divisional to the Giants.
2021 Dodgers, 106 wins. 2021 Giants, 107 wins. Neither of those won the World Series. 2019 Astros, 107, didn't win.
And the 2021 Dodgers, that was a team that the Padres beat them, and was the Padres won the division, and LA had to get the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the 06 Cubs, 116 wins, 323 run differential.
That is
did
insane.
Not win the World Series.
And see, that's what's so cool about baseball because there's not a best team that's going to win it every year. Now, obviously, last year with the Dodgers and the Yankees being there, it was the two highest payrolls. But I mean, you can have teams. I would say you can have a team that like those Giants teams kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, even some of the teams that made the World Series and lost, like the Phillies in 2022, I think, and even the Nationals in 2019, they kind of came out of nowhere, and you just got to win
2021 Braves came out of
nowhere.
Well, that was
as
that.
well.
But then were the Braves on that list that you gave? Because it was like 2023.
They were fifth, the fifth worst record to win, and it was 88 and 74.
Well, no, for the for not to win the World Series.
because they won.
Remember, they won like
103
103 and 23 or something, and they had like a outstanding run differential, blowing teams out like crazy.
I didn't see it on the list.
Yeah,
because there were.
And then they ran to the Phillies.
Yeah.
Those seem to happen a bunch. In their history, they've ran into the Phillies. The worst possible time. Well, guys, another fun show here on X Sports Today. So for Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, I am AJ Good. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.